Yes, Pickles the guys in here, content creator. Welcome back to my channel. New little setup. Trying to get back in my bag and get back into things. I have a lot of things. God, I was off in Jamaica for about 10 days. Traveling to Jamaica was interesting. A lot of things have changed. Of course, inflation is a person that is not to be mentioned. Inflation is crazy. What money it has really eroded our spending power other people, and of course, the exchange rate in Japan is absolute garbage. But it's actually designed by the government to ensure that people will stay in Japan, spend domestically, because the Japanese yen doesn't have much value outside of Japan. One, two, it also encourages tourists, encourages persons to travel to Japan and spend here. Um, $153. 153 yen to one US dollar is the selling rate, is the selling rate. The buying rate is 140 something. So you're losing. The government or whoever remittance companies are making a killing, an absolute killing, and it is what it is at the end of the day. It's business, capitalist country, capitalist world. Now, complaining, make an observation because clearly people, anything you say anti-Japan is just anti-Japan. It's been an interesting couple of days for me. I emceed at a wedding. I'll probably post a picture here and show you some clips as well. Yeah, just decided to try and be more consistent. I've been seeing this and preaching, but I'm gonna be more consistent now. Did some soul searching, not soul searching. Did some looking into stuff. Try to sort out the lighting. It's not 100 yet. It's much better than before, I presume, and so it's more aesthetically pleasing to some people. So hopefully, that will encourage the things. I realize that a lot of us don't appreciate what we have or are not as grateful. I talk about gratitude a lot and the attitude that some people have in life. And a lot of just like my life, my videos tend to cover a wide range of topics and diversity, and that's not rewarded anymore. But I can't not be me. This is who I am. I have a lot of opinions. I speak about a lot of things. I enjoy diversity is such a buzzword right now, but I just enjoy doing different things and trying different things, within reason, of course. Yeah. Even how I record music, I really can't stick to one thing because life is not meant to be like that. I feel, to be honest. I have a comedy show coming up, working on my set for that in the December 10. December is going to be busy, and I realize that moving away to Japan has really changed me. I have discovered so much about myself. And people tend to discover a lot about themselves when they move to a country by themselves. And for whatever reason that you move to Japan or a foreign country, I mean, I hope you see it through. I hope you achieve your goals. And we're changing gears again, and we're hitting it this time. Uh, I lost about 5 kilos before going to Jamaica, and I think I gained about three. So netting a net of two loss. But I mean, it is what it is. It's just about being consistent. Consistency is so important these days. Consistency is one of the hardest things to do, and sometimes you don't get the reward in time, but after it will come eventually. And it is just for you to maintain and pursue that. Again, I thank my Patreon fans, my Patreon members, sorry, not fans, who have really stuck to me, and persons who have been following the channel for a long time. I do thank you as well. And if you're new here as well, thank you so much. I'm up more regular on Instagram. So like I talk about bowel movement. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm a lot more regular on Instagram. But even then sometimes it get frustrating for me, you know. I'm showing you the realness, a lot of realness, a lot of things that persons really brush under the carpet. And it is interesting that even the content about different countries going around the world, and if you look at it, a lot of it is curated for certain things. And if you don't fit a certain profile, then it is what it is at the end of the day. Now, traveling, I think I've traveled enough to last a lifetime for most persons, because going back to Jamaica takes about 2 days, if we're being honest. There's no direct flight, so the commute is like mad crazy. Like, it took me 10 hours to go back to Los Angeles because we flew over the Pacific, like along the straits, like the Arion Strait and all these crazy places that you don't travel past. It's a lot of ocean. And then from LA, I stayed over LA for like 20 hours. And I was supposed to meet up with some people, didn't end up working out. One of them left me on red, which is crazy. Actually, I don't remember, but it's what it is. Sometimes, it was my fault actually because I didn't actually confirm with that person, whatever. But the other person had work, and so it didn't work out. Kind of bum, but LA is expensive, guys. LA is expensive. Jamaica is expensive. The taxi to leave the airport. Let me tell you about that. Now, if you go to, I went to Los Angeles airport and I need to get some food because everywhere was closed by the time I landed. It was like 9ish p.m. and I made a mistake of coming out of the terminal because I couldn't check my bags so early, right? So I'm like, yo, I'm just chilling, I'm vibing, I'm cooling, you know what I mean? And we well not we I say, hey, do I turn here or stay here? Because the connecting flight was like 20 hours later, and you can't check your bag on unless it's the same day. And 12 hours before is not possible. I tried, and they say, hey, you have to go get a card because nobody takes cash anymore. Everything is card or online or touch, and it's cashless, and it's kind of annoying because you're inconveniencing people. You're basically trying. I don't know. I know everyone, say, oh, let's do card, let's do PayPal, let's do Zelly, let's do Cash App or whatever. But sometimes cash is just cash. And in Japan, cash is still king. In in America, there are places that don't take cash. You understand me? You know how ridiculous that sounds? We don't take the actual money. We take representative money. Actual money has no value, but what is assigned to it is crazy. Fiat currency, if we for those who did economics. So currency is backed by a resource. So the US dollar is backed by the gold in Fort Knox, China, etc. by I guess whatever, and the United Emirates backed by oil. So whatever. If your country has a good resource, probably you have a wonderful exchange rate. And the debt of the IMF and all that. We don't get into the debt of the IMF because that's a story for the Caribbean hates IMF. All these countries that went under austerity, like Greece, Jamaica, who borrowed money from the International Monetary Fund. This is called. I think so. Yeah. And there are some stipulations where you have to cut your costs and you have to be austere. You have to be lean and mean. All excess fat has to be cut, and sometimes it causes very 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 crazy programs, and a lot of programs in the government have to be cut, and they have to raise the exchange rate, and the recommendations sometimes seem outlandish because it is what it is. It is what it is at the end of the day. Just crazy. So like for me, I find that I have to balance, the currencies, Jamaican and whatever. But anyway, back to the taxi. So the taxi ride. First of all, the guy said, "Hey, I want to go to In and Out Five Guys." Was it In and Out or Five Guys? I think it was In and Out Burgers. Was it Five Guys? What's LA's famous here? Whatever the famous burger is down in the West Coast, I went there. And the guy said, hey, it's a bit of a walk from the airport. But I should have known that Americans don't even walk to their bedrooms, all right? They don't like walking. So a bit of a walk could really means like 10, 15 minutes in Japanese time or Jamaican parlance. So I take the taxi, jump in. People in the taxi didn't drive for 5 minutes with traffic. You hear me? With traffic. And when I saw the fee, $16 for moving the taxi, 16 US dollars, which is like 2,500, 3,000, like 3,000 yen, 2,000 yen to move the car. Then that's the initial rate. Then there's a $4 US fee because you're picking up a taxi at the airport. Now you tell me, what in all God's name is that? What does that even mean? $4 because the taxi is taken from the airport. It's like they charge of you in Japan actually calling a taxi to reserve it because you have to pay a fee if you reserve the taxi. No, if I don't reserve you, how are you going to get a ride? If no one reserves you and there's no one on the streets, you just drive all day and don't get paid. I never understood that in Japan, but it is what it is. It is what it is. In Jamaica, you call a taxi, you don't get charged for a reservation fee. If you're picking up a chartered cab, you charter a cab, you get it, boom, you pay money to travel. So I took taxis in 3 countries with this trip, right? And the difference in prices were astronomical. Big old gap. Cool. So it cost me for 5-minute ride $22, and of course you have to leave a tip. Tip culture is crazy to me now. This is a whole new craze. I've been living in Japan for far too long, and the tip culture has got me messed up. People, when I mean messed up, it got me messed up. All right. It is now assumed it is now standard that a tip must be left regardless of the quality of service that you give, which to me is outrageous. Excellent customer service should be the standard. All right, it should be the standard, and then if you go over above and beyond, then sure, I can give you a tip because gratuity is supposed to be paid towards the staff. But apparently, a lot of companies, a lot of restaurants are pocketing the gratuity and not paying the staff the gratuity. So the staff are out here hunting this money from the customers, and the customers are like, "But I'm paying gratuity. What is the issue?" I don't have a problem tipping, but the fact that you assume I'm going to tip, so are you going to leave the tip on the card or going to give it in cash? Huh? What? No, 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 no. That can't work at all, fam. That can't work at all. But it is what it is, and you have to just work with the program at this time. Now, I paid $23 US. 20, it came to $22.50. I gave the guy like $24 because I like to tip. Because I know people, it's hard out here in the streets. I don't have it, but I'll give a little and it pays forward eventually. I live good with people. I treat people how I want to be treated. I treat people with respect and kindness and love because that's how I was brought up and raised. And most times, well, sometimes I get it back. I stop worrying about money actually because everything worked out for me for this trip. Just the right amount, the right time, except the stocks on the market in Jamaica, which is a story for another day. Now, boom, go to In-N-Out, eat the burger. Burger was good. Fries were mid, but they had the jalapeno things that you could pick for yourself, which was really dope. Now, it's cold. I kind of underestimated how cold LA would be. It's like at about 11 midnight. And that's okay. The guy says when he dropped me off, he's Indian. Hey, if you want to go back to the airport, just go this way, go that way, and go that way. All right, go this way, go that way, and go that way. All right, boom. I walk with my suitcase and my backpack, and I'm walking. Oh, there's a main highway. Climb up the stairs, walk down. Oh, there's the airport to the left and where the cars were parked. Wait, I just spent almost $25 for a 10-minute walk. I was livid. I was like, no, fam, that is mad to me. You Mitcha, yeah, crazy, crazy. So cool, we do that, boom, I do that. And then after which I, head back to the airport. And I bugged around like a homeless dude because apparently homelessness in LA is a crazy thing. And homeless people actually walk around and go on to the airport to the point where they announce periodically the airport is open 24/7 to persons who have flights. If you do not have flights, you can be charged federally, blah 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 blah. Like whoa, what is happening in LA? And of course, the airport was under construction. It was a mess, fam, an absolute mess. Go to Jamaica, take a taxi for like 800 yen for like a 15-minute, like a 10-minute ride. That can't happen in Japan. A 10-minute ride in Japan is at least 2,000, 3,000 yen. So it's a whole different thing. They don't even have a meter in the cars in Jamaica. One, it's just a vibe. Isn't me? We go after the feeling, the vibe, and the distance, and whatever, and the area and the time of day. Which is really interesting just to juxtapose Jamaican taxis, American taxis, and Japanese taxis. There's no similarities except maybe the crazy way that Japanese taxis drive sometimes in Shibuya, brother. Like when the crossing at Shibuya turns green or red, they are like, yo, it's time for me to go, fam. I'm not really into y'all. Get the hell out of my way and then just start driving, whether it's on the crossing or not. In Jamaica, taxis are renowned for their absolutely world-class crappy driving. And by crappy driving, I mean they don't care. There are dickheads on the road, fam. They break stoplights, they overtake lines of traffic, cause trouble. They can really cause trouble. Public transportation in Jamaica is not safe. It's an extreme sport. If you know, you know. All right, be careful if you go to Jamaica and get on public transportation, especially the robot taxis. All right, cool. So Jamaica was a vibe. It was hot as hell. I didn't meet half the people I was supposed to meet. Some people didn't even know I was there till I was leaving, and it is what it is. It was a short trip, spin around. MC the wedding was cool. Told some good jokes. Saw some people I hadn't seen for a long time. Whole vibe. The wedding, bro, top tier wedding. Shout out to the nuptials, married people. Big up on yourself, I'm not gonna call a name. But these, wedding, problem. Problem. Richie Feelings was DJ, was a dance after, like it was a real dance vibes. Richie Feelings said to me, hey, you don't forget Japan and go teach you. Stop teaching English now. You forget open one dancing school. That's very high praise coming from Richie Feelings. So it's been in the reggae and dancehall industry for years. Years. Richie Feelings is probably 20 years older than me, I think. Maybe. Yeah, has to be much older than me. Or not, I don't know. But he has been in the scene a lot. He's traveled the world, Richie Feelings. And he was even a part of Stone Love at one point, I think. I know he's on his own doing his own thing, He even, delved into the DJ realm for some time. But yeah, I'm ranting and I'm going. The new setup, I like it. I dig this. It's a good vibe. It's a vibe. Maybe the camera can be pushed back a little bit. But yeah, I like this vibe a lot. What do you think about it, guys? Tell me if you like the new setup in the comments down below. Hashtag new setup fire or new setup trash. All right. So that was it. That was holidays. It is cold as hell right now in Japan, bro. It's winter, but no one has said to me, so I say, Samui desu ne. None of that has happened, so I guess it's not winter officially. I did a little skit on that. But all in all, my parents were really happy to see me. I was happy to see them. I didn't work anything for anybody. I'm so sorry. I didn't work a damn thing because I was broke. All right, this is the plan. Next year, better get some money and stuff. You know what's crazy to me though? We worry so much about these things in life that we have no control over, and it's either when two things will happen: either it's going to work itself out, or it won't work itself out, because we are mostly powerless for a lot of the things that happen in our life. For what we can control, we should aim to control them. But things that we can't control, we need to stop worrying. Stop worrying. Put ourselves in positions to win, and then let the rest take care of itself. Life comes at you faster when you're broke. Look out for that t-shirt and merch coming soon. Life comes at you faster when you're broke. Anything that will go wrong when you don't have the right resources. And I guess that's what they're trying to prepare for you as an adult. As a young person, prepare to have a nest egg, something just in case. My nest egg is more like a nest nucleus right now, but that's a story for another day. Yeah. But people, how you been? Let me know in the comments below how you been. What's your plans for the holidays? I plan to be really busy. I'll go back to work pretty soon. Like I just landed back in Japan on Friday. It's now Sunday when I'm recording. Sunday night under this new setup, really spanking. Not spanking, but I have to work with some things and move around and watch some videos. But yeah, I think I don't know how I like this a lot. Yeah. It is what it is at the end of the day, because people don't, people like what they like. And if you can't give people what they like, they'll go and find what they like from somebody else. And that goes for relationships, that goes for life, that goes for music, that goes for content. You can't control what people like. You can create it for them, and if they like it, and they'll come back to you or whatever. But you can't really control it. And I've come to peace and terms to the fact that, it is what it is at the end of the day. Shogunai is really the slang, really the motto for my life at this point. It can't be helped. And I don't run down people. I really don't going to beg anybody to do things. You see my belly here? Yeah, I don't run. You can tell I don't run. You know what I mean? Because that is to get embarrassing. It gets really embarrassing. Hopefully next year I can make some announcements of positivity in terms of goals that I want to achieve and things that I've set up for myself. I won't speak about it now, but hopefully it will manifest. I'll pray about it, and hopefully it comes through. Prepare myself and my body, work on me. Turn up and change gears, because that's what it's about. Listen, when I tell you that I had like some crazy moments in Jamaican shock, reverse culture shock, like customer service in Japan, boy, I tell you, it's really great. It's really great, to be honest. When I mean by great, I mean just for the basic stuff like greeting you and making you feel welcome in an area. Yeah, top notch, top tier, best in the world, best in class. But when it comes to customization, people, it's not even made. Customization or taking out something, it becomes a whole issue, and there's so much content about how if an uncle, so they were nookie there, and can you take this out? Literally tonight I was out with Joanne and Nozomi. They live close to me, my friends. And we went to Shabu Shabu, right? Shabu Shabu. and went out and they said, "Hey, can we not get the Ika in this Jaga butter?" Sure, okay. Let me go check. The girl said, "Let me go check." She came back, "Okay, cool, it can be done." Okay, so we ordered it. When it came, the butter and the Ika was missing. So there was no squid and there was no butter. We just wanted the squid to go bye bye. But they obviously just said, "You know what, screw this, just cut the potato and give these people." I said, "Hi." So we call them back and say, "Hey, can we get some butter, please? Because it looks like we asked for no Ika, but you took the Ika butter. You took the butter and Ika all away." But it's just crazy to me. That's the thing Japan doesn't do well. The ability to think and use the discretion and to puzzle things up. Like if you were cooking ramen, this is an actual story. My friend told me, cooking ramen and the egg is the last thing you add to it because you cook the broth, you mix the broth in with the water, you cook the noodles, you add the meat, and then you actually crack the egg and then put it in. Why can't you order the same thing and say, "Hey, egg nukide, like no egg, please"? Their whole vibe like so they boom can't get what can I they overload and Takashi from Japan in Mason San's video said it. Like Japanese are robots. They can't function outside of something if it's not in a manual or if it wasn't taught or it's not tradition. And that's one of the major problems most persons have with Japan, in my humble opinion. One of the issues. Because I mean, it's something that you can work around and can live around, you know what I mean? It's not something that is life threatening or life changing, but it's something that can become a bit of an inconvenience. You know, the fact that they are unable to customize things and use their discretion based on certain things. Like, oh my God, can I get some, let's say, can I get some water without ice? That's an example, extreme example. No, we serve our water with 3 cubes of ice. If you want water without ice, you have to take out the cubes yourself. Like that, something like that is ridiculous to me and makes no sense. But that is the level of ludicrosity. Is that a word, ludicrosity? Ridiculousness that sometimes happens with Japan in customer service. If, for instance, you're unable to speak the highest level of Japanese, which is Keigo, the polite form, they cannot go casual to you because it is like disrespectful or rude. I feel that's the reason. But yo, I don't understand the Keigo. Talk to me casually. And it's like saying when I was working at the bank, we're not allowed to actually speak patois, which is a Jamaican dialect slash language slash Creole, whatever. But I had customers that spoke no English and all the people who spoke no English that as English weren't as eloquent in English or articulate in English when they was talk power. So it's just so like, me no understand what you say, sir. Please say it again in a patois. Not in patois. Why do I say patois? In a patois, please. Come in, understand what I say. So they asked me, "Hey, sir, could you repeat what you're saying to me in patois? Because I understand that better." And when we were in training, I was told that we must not speak like that. We must speak in proper English and maintain our professionalism. No, I am trying to collect the bank's money. So you think I'm going to allow the fact that I'm supposed to speak English only to these people prevent me from meeting my targets? I would say, "All right, Mama, listen. You go so boom, I go so braps, I go so braps." And she said, "So why you never said before? Why didn't you say it before, sir? This makes more sense to me." In Pato, of course. Now, that customer um respected me, started maintaining her bills and paying it on time, and I got her to a point of regularity where she would eventually just call me and say, "Hey, Andre, help me out with this. Help me out with this." And I would do it because I was bringing her from a point of where she was really struggling with her debt to where she was managing it really well. And all because I used my discretion. I made a judgment call to say, "Hey, is it worth losing this customer and losing that business going forward for in perpetuity because I refuse to try and speak at a level that she could understand?" That is all I'm saying. And Japan, if you could do certain things like that, that would be awesome. Interestingly enough, speaking about Japan and the image of Japan, I was online watching this interview by this guy talking to some Koreans, and a lot of people, a lot of people who love and talk about Japan do not know how crazy the history of Japan is, and I will say this again, not to offend you, Japanese people are the white people of Asia. And when I mean by white people, I mean the colonizers of Asia. The Europeans that colonized the world and looted and plundered. Japan looted and plundered Korea. They forced women to become comfort women, the whole thing about, raping and whatever, pillaging, blah, blah. A lot of Koreans despise Japan. Why? Because Japan wants to act like that never happened. Take it all in. Yes, Japan did that. Japan actually started the war with America with the attack on Pearl Harbor, and America retaliated 2 3 times fold. And then Japan, oh my god, I'm so innocent and cute, kawaii. Oh my god, yeah, it's a dark history, and the Koreans feel that the Japanese government, has not done enough to apologize for what the atrocities they committed. I think Shinzo Abe, God rest his soul, said, how long are we going to keep on apologizing for something that happened in the past that we have nothing to do with? Something like that. That was the kind of feeling I got from him when he was talking about it, and the feeling that the Koreans did not feel satisfied. I do not think Japan has outrightly apologized for it. They kind of skirt around the issue with like what they do with a lot of things. When they talk about it, they don't talk about it directly. They say indirectly, I don't know the whole full story like that, but I just know based on what living here for a while, I know how Japanese may have apologized. They may have apologized without apologizing, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Americans and weeaboos and lovers of Japan, please get to know your history about the country that you actually sacrifice life for, and want to change all of that for, because yeah, a lot of countries actually have a really dark past, including Japan. A lot of European countries, South American countries also have a dark, not a one for a better word, a past where they committed some sort of atrocities. Argentina, for instance, used to kill blacks all the time, in the wars and stuff, and they didn't like black people. So a lot of persons get upset when black people support Argentinian soccer teams, for instance. I love Messi. Germany as well. We don't have to go into that, and Italy, etc., etc. The list goes on. The world seemingly only wants black people to do certain things, and we're not allowed to go outside a certain box. We're only allowed to get this rich until something, all of a sudden, things start to happen. But that's a story for another day. In closing this very ranty and random podcast, during the Christmas holidays, guys, please remember your family. Remember those who do not have their family with them or close to them. They will more than likely be really down during the Christmas time. One, there's not a lot of sun in Japan. Two, it's cold. Three, it can be very lonely. A lot of single people are here in Japan. Apparently none of them want me, but it's a story for another day. But yeah, Christmas time is just actually a really crazy time for a lot of people. So just check up on your friends. You send them a message. Send them a voice note. Send them a couple of memes, pictures, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, if you can be good, be creative and put love in everything you do. All right, because the guys in content creator mode. Tell me if you like this format. Let me know in the comments down below. Patreon gets this video before you guys, and then you guys get it after. All right, shout out to people on Patreon. Love you. Bye. Peace and love. Because out to shh.